You're tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, and welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV, the after show for Red Band Society. This is episode 3, Liar Liar Pants on Fire. I'm your host, Heather Joy Smith, and with me tonight I have two lovely co-hosts. Introduce yourselves.
Thanks. Hi guys, it's Michelle. Hey, it's Heather Cruz.
So, fantastic episode once again. I am really enjoying this show.
Me too.
I mean, we're on episode 3 now, and it's just so good every single week consistently.
Yeah. Yes.
Thoughts on the episode this evening?
I thought the episode this evening was very good. I love that it's like, you know, sad, but at the same time, like, it doesn't make you cry. Mm-hmm. You know, it's more, like, it hits your heart more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little lighthearted.
Yeah.
I think like the way that they do the music, it's so cheerful, even though it's a dramedy.
Yes.
They throw the right amount of humor in there with the heart-wrenching moments, and the music behind it, I feel like, just makes it a cheery little show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I like it.
Okay, so tonight we're going to go through each kind of character because each person kind of had their own little storyline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A little different from the first 2 episodes. So tonight, Jordy.
Big stuff on him this week.
we're gonna start with the bang tonight because the episode is called Liar Liar Pants on Fire. And we got a huge lie out of Jordy tonight.
Yeah, we got it defunct.
Yeah. So last episode, McAndrews and a female
got together.
Yes, exactly.
They did the nasty.
Thank you,
Michelle.
Thanks, Michelle.
We couldn't say it, but you cleared it up.
You're welcome.
Clearly, Michelle has no shame in throwing that up.
None.
So after they did
You can say it. We're
what she said. She comes into the hospital, and her first person she sees is McAndrews, and they're like, what are you doing here? And I love his reaction, like, you didn't have to stalk me here.
That was a little weird.
A little awkward. She's like, I'm not. My son is here.
It's like,
What?
Yeah.
Love his shocked face, by the way.
Yeah.
Love
what? And it's Jordy. Bigger shocker.
Surprise, because we thought his mother was dead. That's what we told everybody the last 2 episodes.
Yeah. Clearly, dead to him and dead are the same things.
Right.
Well, they do kind of have the same meaning.
I guess.
It just
But not
depends
to
on
other
how
people.
you use it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the way he was using it, everyone thought she was actually dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we got to see a lot of like Jordy's backstory through a lot of flashbacks between him and his mom and his family this week, which I thought was really cool. But honestly, like towards the end, we found out why Jordy lied about this, because his grandmother believes in holistic medicine, but obviously that is not going to help his situation. Like he had his cousin drive him over the border to get help from this specific doctor, Dr. McAndrews. He wants to save his life, so he thought the easiest way to do that was to convince everybody that he was on his own. So really, that to me, I mean, I don't think it was just your typical, oh, I hate my mom kind of thing. Like, this is a life or death situation for Jordy.
Yeah. And clearly Grandma's little holistic,
A little cuckoo.
a little crazy. I mean, no offense to anyone watching if that's what you're into. But when you have cancer, it's kind of a different thing you're playing around with. I mean, you can't mess around with that. You got to get treatment, like,
Right.
you know, ASAP.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. I'm sure Grandma in her heart had the best interest. Not quite.
It wasn't going to
know.
work. It wasn't going to work for Jordy. He needed really professional medical attention, and he knew that. He recognized that. So on his own trying to make it happen. So I really felt for him for this episode. It really was sad to me that this is his home life.
Yeah.
And then through the flashbacks about how his mom got pregnant at 19. And, you know, that's hard. That's a really hard life that he's had so far. Plus cancer?
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Poor guy is right.
Yeah.
So him and his mom he wants to file for emancipation from his mom, make his own medical decisions. Mom's like, no, I'm here. Let me help you. And they play a little game of poker, I guess.
I think it was poker.
I think
Yeah, I don't
know.
I'm not really up to my card games. I'm really sorry. I think it was poker. But I kind of, when they were playing, I could tell from Emma's reaction when they were playing that he had to be winning when his mom put all of her
She was
beans.
bluffing.
She was. And you could tell he was winning from his face and Emma's face. I just kind of had a feeling. I turned around to you guys, was like, because I didn't know, you know,
Full house.
winning. You know, I said he's winning, right? Like that card's gonna beat whatever his mom has, right? Like I turned around, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here.
She had like a really shocked face when he said he was folding. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that was his tell, you know, that he was
Definitely.
winning. But
Interesting.
It's good on him, though, because it's a step forward. And, you know, towards the end of the episode, he said, I'm not really sure how I feel about this, but at least he's taking the step. And good on his mom for finally stepping up and actually being a mother when it comes down to counts. Like, this is a life or death situation here. So good on her for finally getting it together. And we'll see. I mean, obviously, he's not so sure, so I'm sure it's going to play out on the storyline.
Yeah.
Her little antics.
yeah. I did think at first, though, that she was like kind of hesitant to believe it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like she did seem like she thought he just had a broken leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other interesting thing, is she just thought he had a broken leg.
Well, and remember how during the episode she also said that her mother, I guess, was hiding stuff from her. So, but then again, her mother didn't really believe that he had cancer in the first place.
Exactly.
Right.
So
So she didn't know,
She
and
didn't
she
know
didn't know to
anything.
tell her. And
Yeah.
the weird thing I was kind of thinking is, where did the mom find out where he was
They
exactly?
never explained that.
No. So I'm curious if they're ever going to
true.
explain that, or just kind of like wash on over it and just pretend like no one noticed how she found out
Well,
where
we
he
know
was.
this, okay? Red Man Society, we noticed.
So, the interesting thing of tonight's show was there was more flashbacks, and we had mentioned that before, that we had wanted to see flashbacks, kind of see where people's backstories were and where they came from, and we're getting a little glimpse of that tonight. So
That's good. It's nice to finally have a little character development.
Yeah.
exactly. Another good thing for Mr. Jordy tonight is a little love interest called Emma.
Good or bad? Because it caused some problems between like the little bromance situation here. They all kind of turned against Jordy. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had a really hard life.
He's really, really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully this whole Emma thing works out for him.
I think it will, but it's causing a
thing in his
rift,
life.
obviously, between him and his roommate,
Yes.
who, in the beginning of the series, we thought they were going to be best friends because he was going to lose a leg. They'd finally have, Leo would finally have someone to talk to about this. But towards last week's episode and then tonight's episode, they're getting further and further apart.
No,
And Dash
they
is
are.
totally on Leo's side, so
Yeah.
it's tough.
It is tough, and I think Emma is probably going to drive them a little further apart than they already are.
Yeah. That's how
Is it going to
always
be bros before hoes or the other way around?
Well,
what are your...
Well, I think the funny thing is Dash brought this up tonight, is their little bromance that they have going on, and
He felt threatened.
he did.
He felt very neglected.
Yeah.
You could tell. It was very sad.
It is. But it was, on the other side, you got to think from Emma's point of view. She didn't really feel like that Leo wanted her. I mean, she explained this tonight. I wrote this down, that Leo was afraid of, not afraid of dying, he was afraid of living, and living possibly with her as his girlfriend. And she liked him a lot more than he liked her, and she just didn't feel like it was being reciprocated.
Bad
and
situation.
It just sounded like a bad situation. And so from Emma's point of view, she now has Jordy, who seems to feel the same way about her.
And they're like taking
And
it slow.
speaking of bad situations, if you're in a bad situation with your cable provider, go ahead and check out Dish TV.
Wherever you live in this great country of ours, Dish can bring you great TV. From the big city to the farmlands, high on a mountain or low in the valley, Dish delivers all the great movies, shows, and sports you can handle. Monthly packages start at just $19.99 a month for 12 months. This is your day, America. Get Dish and get thousands of TV shows and movies on demand and free installation in up to 6 rooms. Visit dish.com/AfterBuzz. That's dish.com/AfterBuzz. Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee and other restrictions apply. Requires a clear view of the southern sky. Call for details.
Did he just say we can get Dish for just $19.99 a month?
Well, yes, he did, dear.
And what do we pay for TV now?
A whole lot more than that, dear.
And why do we do that?
I don't know.
Get Dish. Go to dish.com/AfterBuzz. That's dish.com/AfterBuzz.
That was by far the best segue from Steven.
Steven's creative.
I mean, that was amazing. And look who I'm here, everyone. It's Francisco.
Hi, guys.
Yay!
I always do dance moms before red bands, so just a little, yeah.
You're gonna be
I'm
busting
here.
in here every week?
Yeah.
Next week you'll have to pirouette in here, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, no grand entrance
Do
this
something
week.
a little graceful, please.
Yes.
There you go. Give you a burst.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Let's pick back up before our little break segment that we just had there. We're talking about Emma and her relationship with Jordy and kind of where that's going.
Little triangle between Leo,
Yes.
Emma, Jordy.
Yes.
And Dash is thrown in there too with the little triangle bromance. Jordy is the root of all problems.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this little love triangle we got going on?
Well.
We kind of threw you into this.
Yeah, right.
No, it's okay. I think it was. I think Leo is just a little bit jealous of Jordy's. You know, I mean, it's nothing really to be jealous about because Jordy has a more serious situation to deal with. Right. But you know, he's dealing now with Jordy having the better option, and he gets to keep his legs. So we were gonna be bros before, but now I want the girl, and you know, it's just a little awkward. He kind of turned out of nowhere. And
Right? That's what we were saying. They were friends. We thought they were going to be anyway, and now they're not.
Yeah.
Nope.
I kind of feel like it's like a typical guy-girl relationship thing. Like, you always want what you can't have. And I feel like that's what Leo is doing, and it's like, slow your
You know
roll,
what?
dude.
I'm like, my opinion of him was so high because he was like the leader of the pack. We are the Red Band Society, and all of a sudden he's acting so immature.
Yeah.
Do you think he's kind of feeling intimidated because he was the leader of this pack, and now it's kind of shifting to, I feel, a little bit Jordy's kind of been the main focus of things lately.
Yeah, like, he's not necessarily in charge, but he's everyone's, like, diverting their attention to him. Yeah.
It's kind of just real. I think it's a little bit, you realize what you're missing out on once you can't have it.
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, he had it and now he doesn't, and he's like, damn it.
Like, I want it back.
I'm gonna let it go.
Yep.
When Emma was making the Rice Krispie treats for Jordy, and Leo was like, "Well, I'll come and help you." Like, really?
It's his
Like,
game.
Stop.
Oh,
It's his
yeah.
game.
Yeah. So, he actually tried to kiss her at one point, you know, and
Didn't exactly work out the way he
didn't quite work out.
planned.
Yeah.
But good for Emma, though, because, you know, after that scene with the Rice Krispies, they got a little close. You thought maybe it was going to happen, but it didn't. Later on, back in her room, she put him in his place.
Yeah.
Like, big burn. So good on her, because she's a young girl, and, you know, she got 2 guys fighting after her. A lot of more, less mature women would have probably just, you know, wrote it out. But good on her for knowing exactly what she wants,
Yeah,
at
she's
least.
so mature for her age.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it.
Yeah, I agree with her. I think in a normal setting, in a regular high school or wherever they are, Leo wouldn't have paid attention to a girl like that maybe because he was on the soccer team, he was athletic, he was the jock, and he probably would have went for someone like Ciara, and maybe that's why he you know, notice some of the positive things in Ciara because that's the kind of girl he's interested in. And Emma's like, no, slow your roll.
Good. That's so good on her, though, for real.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ciara had.
Ciara.
Ciara.
I mean, did she not learn that drugs are bad? I mean, girlfriend, you're on the last of the waiting list for a heart transplant because of the drugs.
Well, she was going through withdrawals. She needed her drugs. She
Wow, really?
If that's what you need to do, then that's what you need to do, apparently.
A whole nother side of Michelle in that.
Oh, so really, Michelle?
I was just
Also, really?
No, I'm saying that that's how she felt. I'm not saying that I condone that.
Okay, but how hilarious was it when Nurse Jackson took her to the little kids' room and she's like trying to get the pills
my
from
God.
the 5-year-olds?
Trying to peddle drugs from a little girl.
Really?
I honestly didn't think she was going to do that, and then she totally surprised me. Like, I thought she was building a cool relationship with this little kid, and then all of a sudden she's like, so what kind of pills do you get at night?
And who has sex in a hospital?
Right. Was not expecting that either.
Nurse Jackson was asking for that one because Nurse Jackson told her, yeah, you can have a friend over. I mean,
regret that decision.
Didn't ask what kind of friend was coming over.
I know, she didn't even check them in.
No.
Aren't you supposed to check people in when they visit?
Maybe they were another patient that we haven't seen.
So I have a question. So, you know, the whole thing was that she couldn't do the drugs because she had to pee clean, right? Well, she ends up peeing clean, but the last scene, we see her popping pills. Like, was she lying? Was that really her?
Oh, she just wanted to get through that drug test.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally. She wanted to pass that drug test so, you know, she can get that heart transplant, and then she's back to her old ways.
Yeah.
She's smart.
She's smart, but it's not very smart.
Like, she's smart. Like, she's smart in the way,
Like she's like cunning.
Yeah, she's cunning.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw this in the very first scene with her. She and the other nurse doctor who was there. She's, you know, plotting to give this nurse
a fake
Brittany's fake number, which is genius.
For a little weed, yeah.
I mean, she is always having her wheels spinning in everything that she's going to do.
Yeah.
So she's a smart little cookie
I wonder if she got
sometimes.
that pill from the little girl.
Oh, I'm sure.
She did.
It was late at night. It comes at 9 o'clock.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, going back to Nurse Jackson here for a second, we got like a little foreshadowing of her life between the scene in the bathroom, Kenji in the girl's bathroom, by the way.
Amazing.
I'm like,
It happens.
wait.
Yeah, right.
Are
It
they,
happens.
Yeah.
happens.
I'm like, are they in the same bathroom together?
Yeah, well, anyway, so they just one little line of like, like Kenji's like, you gave up your career to help these kids. Like, really? I would like a little backstory on Nurse Jackson. So it's got me definitely interested to see her side, because she is one tough cookie.
Yeah.
I want to see what cracked her.
She has a name, Dina.
Dina,
right?
That's the first time I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we go on, we want to make sure to remind everybody to go onto iTunes and rate us 5 stars. Yay! Please, please, please. And if you are on YouTube and watching this, make sure to comment down below, and we will comment back.
Yeah, it's been great feedback and great viewership. So
Yes, thank you so much.
continue.
So I want to go back to the Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire as the episode title, because when we first heard this title, I was like, okay, maybe there's just going to be one lie. But we come to find out that every single person in this cast has a little lie that they've kind of told or kind of twisted the truth, kind of. It's interesting that they have all kind of done that to kind of put off a different person that they are.
Jordy kind of brings it to the forefront when Leo starts turning against him. He's like, no, listen.
Yeah.
You've lied about your drugs.
Yep.
You've lied about your PT. Emma lies to pass her, you know, her tests, her weigh-ins. I'm lying to save my life.
Exactly. It
So
was great.
chill.
Yep. Put that to bed.
You tell him, Jordy.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Yeah.
I mean,
good. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Apparently we're both IF.
So I guess it's okay to lie sometimes. Well, life, death,
I mean,
lie.
I get the whole Jordy lying to save his life thing.
Yeah, me too.
However, I still want to know, where has this mom been, and how did she find out
she's
he was
sticking
there?
around.
She is, but she's acting like
It's nothing.
There's no big deal there, and clearly there's a big missing point. I almost spilled my. There's a big point between, like, maybe when he was 11, 12 to now 14, 15-ish, that is somewhere lost, and I'd like to see that in the plot line in the next couple episodes.
Yeah, obviously he doesn't trust her.
No, and I want to know why.
Doesn't trust who? Sorry, I spaced out for 1 second.
Jordy doesn't trust his mom.
Right. No, well, I mean, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
Based off what we've
dumped
seen.
him.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we saw that his mom wasn't. Well, it's hard to call her unstable because when she explained to Dr. McAndrew about why, you know, she did what she had to do to survive and to support her child, and I guess being a gambling mother isn't the best option, but
that's the same thing with Jordy. Jordy's doing what he has to do to survive too. Like riding across the border with your cousin and getting dumped at the hospital isn't the best situation either, but that's what you have to do sometimes.
yeah.
So.
And it was interesting to see her telling the story and him telling the story and them going back and forth between what he thought happened and what she thought. Like, I always provided him a hot meal at night when in reality it's a 99-cent chicken burrito that's frozen, you know?
Those are good, though.
I was gonna say,
you had Taco Bell for dinner.
I did have Taco Bell, and it was really
I was
good.
jealous. It smelled really good.
I mean, and Taco Bell's quality is probably lower grade than those burritos, but still, you know, a hot meal, you think full meal, vegetables, chicken, whatever it might be. I don't know, but not here's a frozen burrito.
Yeah,
make it yourself in the microwave.
Hey, sometimes those lower class families, you gotta do what you gotta do to eat.
You do.
That's I feel like that was like Jordy's theme. Like, you have to do what you have to do to survive. And like, he obviously got that from his mom, who maybe he doesn't understand it, but in her perspective, she was doing what she had to do to survive as a single young mother.
Exactly.
He's gotten a lot of things from his mom. I don't want to jump, I'm jumping ahead, but when they were, you know, gambling or playing the poker, he noticed his mom knew his trick, and he used his trick against her.
Yes.
He used those cunning ways. He bit his lip on purpose to try and confuse his mom because she knows this trick, and he knew he was going to win, but he wanted to trick her. He picked up a lot of her traits.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
We talked about this a little bit because I knew from watching his face and Emma's face that, I don't know poker that well, but that, you know, that he was going to win that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't realize that whole
he bit
part
his
of
lip.
It. You're right.
He's trying to confuse his mom.
Well, he confused
but he
us
still
too.
folded, though, which I feel like is good. Like, because obviously, like, the outcome would have been the same. Like, he would have been emancipated. He would have got what he needed. But she was also there willing to, you know, help him. So he would have got what he wanted either way, but he actually chose the option to invite her back into his life. Which I thought was pretty good.
Because he felt that motherly love in that moment. She took him back to a moment where, you know, a good moment in his life, and to point something out that she knew about him, you know, trying to be motherly. Just
That
gave him
was
a
a
little
very
bit of
cute
love.
moment. It was a very cute flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose flashback do you guys want to see next week?
Nurse Jackson.
Yeah, me too, Nurse
Yeah,
Jackson.
I love
I think
Nurse
she's
Jackson.
great. I love her.
Dina?
Yeah,
Dina. We'll call her
Dina.
Dina now.
Jackson.
You know what? Mr. McDreamy, McDelicious, McWonderful.
Yes.
McHot?
Yes.
Andrew.
We know that he's a little OCD with the ties. We learned that from Nurse
yeah.
Brittany.
That was so funny. She called him out.
She's so funny.
But
By
how
the way,
did she know, though? How did
She pays
she just
attention.
knows. But I feel like they need to get together, those two.
You think so?
I feel like they need to.
Brittany and McAndrew.
Yes.
That'd be a cute pairing.
That'd be cute.
I think that'd be really cute.
I see that.
There was one thing that I tried to notice throughout this entire episode, and I could not get a good look,
What?
is that ring finger. Because we know that he's married.
Okay, we're gonna maybe jump ahead to some gossip here because
Okay.
we thought that he might have been married.
Okay.
However, Mandy Moore has signed on to play his ex-fiance. So
okay.
I thought that maybe they could have been, because I read something really quick, but I was incorrect.
Okay.
She is coming on to play his ex-fiance. So there is
right.
a little triangle thing gonna happen, some
Okay.
drama, and I can't wait because I love Mandy Moore and I love McSteamy, Dreamy, whatever.
Okay, good. Because I was like, I could not get a clear view of that hand. Even like to the last thing, it was like right here, and it like cut off like right here. I
They
was
did
like,
it on
no!
purpose. They knew you were gonna look
Because
for
right
it.
when Jordy's mom was kissing him, I was like, show me the ring, show me the ring. And there's no ring. I was like,
Not happening.
You're just waiting for that Grey's Anatomy end of season
am.
1 bomb.
Yeah. I'm
I
like,
know.
where is it?
I know.
there wasn't.
But that's good on him though. Better.
Good
That's
on
better.
him. And hopefully we'll get some other drama somewhere else.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
there's always gonna be
Yes.
Yes.
drama somewhere else.
So let's get into some more news and gossip. Why don't we?
Okay, so
AfterBuzz TV News.
are you finished now? Thank you. So this is kind of interesting. Is we're talking on Mick Andrews, who's the actor's name is Dave Annable, by the way. So there's like this little Twitter war right now. If his hair is real,
Oh,
if his
the
hair
salt
is
and
real,
pepper?
the salt and pepper, because he's a young guy, but he's
Yeah.
got this like salt pepper thing going on, a little George Clooney action. Apparently, it's real. He just has
Yay.
gray hair. I know, I liked it too.
Well, it looks
He
good.
looks so like dignified.
Yes.
with the salt and pepper.
You guys know that Leo, I forgot his real name, he shaved off his head for the
I
show.
did. I read
Oh, I
that.
didn't know
yeah.
that.
Yeah, he shaved off his hair for just the show. And that's very brave because I don't know if I could.
I
know.
wouldn't be able to
Same
do
here.
it either. No Natalie Portman on my end.
No.
That's interesting because I actually thought about that. I was like, I wonder if he's wearing one of those caps.
Caps, yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell
Guess
in
he's
any of
not.
the episodes, so I guess.
And he's British.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Oh.
Look-
Does he
look
have an
at you.
accent?
So tricky.
Did you like
He's British.
study him?
I watched some like behind the scenes
Oh,
videos.
yeah.
Oh, so does he have an
Awesome.
accent in real life?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Would have never
I love
known.
it.
Good actor. Good actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Well, moving on to more serious notes here. According to TVsbythenumber.com, the show is like maybe get canceled.
What?
I know. I told you guys weren't gonna like it.
Already?
Already, I guess
Why?
the numbers aren't that great.
Well, it's a Steven Spielberg production.
He can't let this one
it's
go.
And I feel like it's gaining momentum as we go on. Like this was by far like the best episode. We're getting more in. You have to give a show a few weeks before you write it off. So hopefully people get on it. I was like browsing Twitter before we got in here. Lots of good comments, like a ton of them. So
Yeah.
they got like 150,000 followers on Twitter, which is good. So hopefully the numbers will be going up. We certainly don't want to see this show go anywhere.
No.
I just think people are very critical. Like, I don't know how serious they want this, like, teenage fall hit drama to be. Like, yeah, you know, they're all kids and they're running around a hospital and they have different stories, but not everyone has to take things so seriously all the time. There has to be some kind of mellowness and some happiness and fun quality to a show like this that's dealing with real life issues. Not everything has to be Grey's Anatomy and be so serious and dramatic all the time. It's fun, it's lighthearted, you have great characters, you have different stories, and I think people are like treating it like that. It's supposed to be this like hospital drama where people are dying for real and like don't have real stories.
Well, I think it's hard too because it's not exactly like there's a lot of comedy like in with it, so it's definitely more of like a dramedy. But it's like, could we make this a drama? Because these are kids we're talking about. That's a little dark, but we can't really full on make it a comedy either because these are real life situations. This is really dark stuff. So
I think the demographics for this show are probably, if we actually look at the demographics, probably skewed a lot younger than, say, a Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
well, they're not getting into a whole lot of medical stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, names of the cancers, that's pretty much all we're getting. It's not like looking at the scans, well, the blah, blah, blah. I don't even know the
Grey's-
terms. I don't even know them. Like,
Grey's
like,
half the time you're like, I have to get my like dictionary out or something.
It's not as smart, which I appreciate because I'm not that smart. Like, I'm not a doctor.
I think what they're focusing on is more is that these kids do have lives outside of their situations. They like each other. They want to smoke weed. They want to party. You know, I mean, not that they're the greatest things to focus on, but there's realness to these characters instead of them just dealing with cancer and being sad all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different kind of story. It's a different telling than what people I think are expecting out of this like.
It's different than what I thought it would be too, though, because you know the previews before we started watching the first episode, they were a little more lighthearted. They were, you know, you kind of think like a Scrubs kind of thing, but it's not like that at all.
No.
It's not like so. It's different than I feel like people had thought. So maybe the people who anticipated something different need to go away, and the other people need to come in because the numbers need to go up. Because I like this show.
Yeah.
Just give it I think people just need to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Let the stories keep going. Fall in love with your characters.
Still developing.
It's only the third
episode.
week.
Yeah.
Like you need like 5 or 6 before you gotta write it off.
And everyone
so.
who I've talked to has loved. They're like, I love Red Band
That's what
Society.
I'm saying. Everyone on Twitter, like, great comments.
Yep.
So,
We'll see. Okay, so let's get into some predictions while we're at it.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Let's start with you, Francisco.
I think Dr. McAndrew and Eva, I don't know, I forgot how she said it. Jordy's mom, definitely some kindling romance there with that goodbye kiss that she planted.
Yeah.
Jordy and Emma for sure. Those Rice Krispie treats.
Yep.
They're leading to a little cute romance.
All right, Heather.
Well, based on the previews for next week, I feel like we're going to get a little more into Ciara's backstory. It looked pretty hilarious. They're going to be out of the hospital next week, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, yes.
So it's going to be something new and different. A different setting is always good. So I'm hoping we get to see a little bit more of Ciara. And I really hope that she starts to grow up because... I mean, as we're seeing with Jordy, like, this is a life and death situation, and it's going to come to that time for her where she's going to have to realize that she needs to survive. So I hope, and I think that she's going to kind of grow up a little bit and realize she needs to put the weed down, talk about her health, and get that going first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle?
I feel the same. I'm hoping to see more of Leo's backstory, though. Like, I feel like every week we've gone through Ciara last week, and then this week we did Jordy. So hopefully we're doing Leo next week, even though we are going outside of the hospital and back to her school and going to homecoming.
I think it's homecoming.
Yeah, homecoming.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he'll just have like flashbacks of when he was in high school before. So I don't know. That's what I'm hoping to see.
Yeah.
I kind of take mine back because we see the fight between Dr. McAndrew and Ava about how she let Jordy go to the movie theater. So I don't think there's going to be romance next week. I lie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You
Okay,
lied.
so the interesting thing, take off of that, the movie theater, Jordy looks like he passes out. And I kind of feel like he's had enough for right now.
Yeah.
I don't hate to say this, but I almost wish... like, Ciara would kind of...
Because she deserves it.
She's passed out enough.
Not because she deserves it, because she does need that reality check that this isn't a game to be playing with. That she needs a new heart, and doing all these drugs is not going to help with this. And so I think it's been playtime for her. Nothing's been, like, serious with her. So I think she kind of needs that moment where it's like, oh my gosh, I need to get my life together. Like you said. I mean, we need to see this in the next couple episodes. It needs to hit her because she's just off in La La Land like, oh, everything's fine.
Yeah, but Jordy's health is going down fast.
It is.
His situation is probably the most dire out of anybody's right now. So
Exactly. So hopefully all's well with him after we see that one scene.
It's crazy because one of my good friends has Ewing sarcoma, and it's been a crazy battle for him, but he's in remission right now. So
that's great.
That's
Yeah.
good
We
to
want to
hear.
see happy things for sure.
you know, nothing's guaranteed ever,
Exactly.
but you know, there's some positive to this stuff.
Yep. All right, so everybody out there, make sure to find us on social media. Tweet us your thoughts and your predictions and what else you want to see on the show for next week. So, Michelle, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at _Michelle Phi.
And you can find me on Twitter at Heather_Cruz.
You guys can find me Twitter, The Francisco, or Instagram, Francisco Thurston.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Heather Joy Smith. And thanks everybody for watching. We will see you here same time next week for Red Band Society. Have a good week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.